Welcome back to another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and in this one we're going to be taking a different approach. I'm going to be talking about the potential system, and a lot of this applies to both versions of the game, but I am mainly doing this prompt on what's going on Global and the fact that Global finally got the announcement for the potential system. So if you don't know what that is, it's the system in the game that allows you to improve your units, obviously their statistics, and giving them increases like super attack increases, they get more HP on orbs and things like that, and critical hits, additional attacks. There's a lot that goes into that, and every unit is a little bit different, or a lot of the units are different. There are categories as you see on the screen. So what I'm going to talk about in this portion of the video is, the best units to use the orbs on, right? Because you farm orbs every day. Generally, it's a 3 times a day cost or limit, excuse me. Sometimes they have specials where they allow you to run it 5 times, and most of the time it's not on the weekend. Sometimes there's a special where all of them are available on the weekend. It just kind of comes and goes with what they have running. But generally, you're going to be farming and accumulating orbs. There's 3 types of orbs: bronze, silver, and gold. Obviously, the bronze are the most common ones, but that means that obviously you won't use them as much. Well, you use them as much. You use them a lot in the earlier portions when you first start awakening your units, but whenever you get further into the potential grids, it requires gold ones and things like that. And a lot of this to get a lot of these top tier buffs, as I'm going to talk about in a moment, you will need duplicates of cards, which is unfortunate because before this came out, you just feed your duplicates to your main one to get that super attack increase. Unfortunately, there's not a way to return that, to undo that. It's just kind of done, which is unfortunate. They kind of made it seem like when this came to Japan, that would be a thing. You could get those back, but you can't. But if you do have duplicates of a unit sitting in your box, like I know Gaming Claw has like 5 Super Vegetos, or not, oh, he wishes he had 5 Super Vegetos. He has 5 Super Gogetas, excuse me. All of those will be able to unlock the 4 available paths, and I'll show you guys the potential system on my Japanese account in a moment after this. But we're going to talk about in a moment now is the best units to use this on, and this is universal to both versions of the game. Obviously, I'm going to not really talk too much about the units that are kind of obvious, right? Because if you have Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, right, obviously you're going to use it on him if you do, because he's one of the best physical units in the game, aside from maybe like Cooler and a couple other guys that are up there on that tier. Obviously, Super Vegeta AGL, or Vegeto, and Super Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta if you have them on JP. The best units in the game are self-explanatory. They all get top tier buffs, and they're all obviously the best units in the game, so you'd want to use it on them and prioritize them. But there are a couple of things in here that people don't really know about. So there are tiers, and courtesy of DBZ we're on the Japanese version of it, but courtesy of them, Renzi went ahead and broke it all down in the team over there. But there's B rank, A rank, S rank, and then there are special units that get increases. And basically, to start this off, these are the stats that they can get increased based on the characters. So there's a A rank for body, and this is a special settings for characters. Basically what this, oh no, this is actually physical. So basically what this is the original Rebirth units get really big buffs. You can see this in the description. I'll put this in the description, guys, for you guys to check it out a little bit more in depth. But the original Rebirth units get really big buffs of 5,000 per stat. So what this is they get 5,000 more attack, HP, and defense when you opened up all their available nodes, applied all the available duplicates in there to allow you to fully maximize that unit's individual potential. So they get this way. Obviously, it's going to take a while to max out a unit at 100%. It's going to take a lot of farming. It's going to take a lot of duplicates. It's going to take up to 4 duplicates, and all the original guys get that. So that's pretty cool that they did that, because they kind of get shafted. I mean, I wouldn't really prioritize them because they're not that great to begin with, but it all comes down to what you individually have in your box. You may get in a situation where you don't have very good intelligence units, and you may want to look at buffing the Trunks or the Gohan here. If you have them, maybe, sure, right? But I would honestly, in a situation like that where you can buff up a mediocre unit, because they may be the best unit that you have for intelligent base in your box, but in the grand scheme of things, they're kind of mediocre, right? You may get in a situation like that. I would honestly just say, okay, save them in case you pull like LR Gohan whenever he's available on Global, of course, or Buhan, or whatever it is, and then you can apply that there, because those units get a lot better. Now, I want to touch on it really quick before I proceed with these tiers and stuff. The next group of guys that I would kind of prioritize is the units that get the percentage-based increases on passives, like, who's a good one? AGL Rebirth Gohan that just came out on Global, has been on JP for a couple months now, gets 90% up on a super attack. Super Saiyan God AGL, 75%, 70%, whatever it is, gets that on a super attack. Those units like that, as opposed to the units like Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, who gets like 18,000 attack. I'm just spitballing. I don't know the exact numbers off the top of my head. Those units are going to have a lot more survivability, and the meta changes in the game as the game progresses. So those units like that, and this is kind of where you get into the debate between Super Saiyan Blue Goku versus Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, because Super Saiyan Blue just flat out, once he gets his rebirth, or his awakening, he gets Fierce Battle, he gets 100% up on the passive. As you improve that unit with this system and you improve his base attack statistic, that 100% becomes wildly high, right? It becomes a crazy amount of damage to where this guy starts crapping all over Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken's damage output. You know, and that isn't even with being linked with a Vegeta, because that's a whole nother story. He completely, utterly destroys him when he's linked with a Vegeta. So it kind of comes and goes. As far as that debate goes, I stay away from it because it comes down to versatility. You guys may have seen my race with Talon. I was using Blue Kaioken and Super Saiyan 3, and it just comes down to what you want to do. But those units that get the percentage-based increases will stay relevant for a lot longer in the game versus the ones that get the flat ones, which is kind of why I'm a little bit standoffish on Mass Saiyan Bardock, because he just came out on JP. He gets a massive increase, right? 50,000 and then like 20,000 defense. That's really, really good. It's really, really good. It clocks him in as one of the hardest hitters in the game and all that. That a buff that big, you know, a flat increase buff that big completely just makes everything I just said irrelevant at the moment. Because as the game progresses again and more power creeps are instated, that he'll kind of find himself in the same situation as Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, because that guy was an amazing hard hitter when he first came out. Not to say he isn't now, but it's just he's kind of fallen off. But the next thing is there is an S tier, right? And the S tier is pretty cool because the S tier is all the original Dokkan Festival units. They get crazy increases. So you take their base statistics that are already on the card, like a unit like Frieza, right? He has 8,700 attack root, just flat. You add on 7,000 more attack to that guy, and at 100% potential, his attack stat is over 15,000. And he's in a unit that I was just talking about, percentage-based increase, 120% up on the super attack. Yeah, he starts to hit really, really hard. He starts to hit really, really hard. Those units like that are the original God leads, you know, the 3 key and to 1 type, and, you know, the original Dokkan Festival units like Beerus and things like that, they get really good. I'm pretty sure Beerus is in there because Kid Buu was. We'll check out Beerus to see if he's in here, because he'd be in the skill section, because I think this is tech. Is Beerus in here? Yeah, Beerus, Tech Cell. Those guys get really, really good increases. Gogeta, amazing increases on him. Gogeta pops off as having one of the best increases in the game because all these units have really good ones. But Gogeta's stats get over 14,000. So, you know, and the thing is, when you increase their defense to this degree too, they start to become really, really good fake tanks, and they get really versatile. And as you see, the S rank tier cards have varying buffs. I actually kind of just noticed this. The AGL units have a higher defensive value. It only kind of is this guy. He gets really good, but a higher defensive value than an HP. So some of them have the 75-60 on attack. You see the differences there. Huh. Okay. Yeah, so, and S rank of intelligence, they're just flat 7,000 across. The Gohan and Janemba. So those old guys, pre-Super Vegito guys, get that big buff like that. And then the guys that are Super Vegito and later get the A rank buffs, they all pop in as something like this. You see Super Saiyan 4 Goku and all of these units. These are all the units that you want to prioritize. I'm showing you the list of the tiers because these are the units that get really good. You know, the percentage-based increase units, they get a lot better. And a unit like Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta here has Fierce Battle, 100% up on the passive. Really, really powerful after you improve him. So to kind of, like I said, I'll leave this in the description for you guys, and we'll jump over to my JP account in a moment. But to summarize, your priorities are the units that are the best units in the game, whatever's available to you, right? You have Vegito Blue, you have Super Vegito, you have Super Saiyan 4s, whatever, on global. If you have Buhan, God Tanks, whatever you have, that's your priority for that type individually. Understand that it's going to take a while to max out a unit. You could take the approach where you buff one unit, or you could take my approach that I've taken, and I like to buff everybody slowly but surely, and everybody has abilities and all that stuff for every type, you know, whatever teams I'm running. So you can take whatever approach you want. And then if you have those units or you don't have those units, your next basically your next priorities would be based off of tiers, right? So you'd go through this tier list and find your units and buff them up that way. And then there's the B tier, you know, that's pretty much the bottom of the list. These guys are generally the really easy to acquire cards, the freer cards. They have the worst buffs because they're super easy to get, which is highly unfortunate. You know, the tournament war cards, they're the easiest ones to get. They have the lowest increases, but it just kind of comes down to what you have individually. So I'll be right back. We'll be on my JB account, and I'll show you guys a couple of examples. Be right back. Okay, so we are now on my Dokkan account. So with the update to the game, right, you get these two menus at the bottom. This one is the reverse menu. It allows you to reverse your units and then do whatever you need to do to them, and it'll allow you to increase their abilities and things like that. Their super attacks, whatever you want, apply duplicates to the card and things like that, and then you can awaken them back and they'll go back to how they were. If you increase their super attack, there was a little bit of confusion whenever it came out to JP. I don't know if it'll have the same problem when it comes out to global or not, but for future reference, if you reverse them, increase their super attacks because you farm their super attacks or whatever, and then send them back to how they were, they will keep that increase. But with that being said, it shows all your available units here. This is just my sorting for intelligence and STR. You choose what you want. You need one of the hourglasses. You get the hourglasses from the Baba Shop for 30 of the incredible gems. That being said, we're going to show off my intelligence units, and I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the nodes and what that all does here. So basically, we have the abilities, right? This is additional attack, a chance at an additional attack. It's not guaranteed to be a super attack. This is the critical hit one. This is a chance at a critical hit, which allows you to bypass their defense and typing and all that stuff. And it just hits really, really hard, a chance at it. This is a chance at dodging a hit, normal or super attack. The unit doesn't take any damage. This increases damage on units that you have a type advantage against. This allows you to block better on units you have a type advantage against. This increases your super attack damage. I don't know if it equates to like a full super attack level or whatever that is, but this also increases the amount of HP regeneration that you get per orb that you get that's the same type as your unit. So basically Vegeta getting a intelligence orb or things like that on the field while you're playing the game. So as far as the grid goes, right, as you see over here, you'll see these little spots. These spots right here are locked behind a dupe path, and they allow you to get to the stars. You can't really get to the stars without the dupe path. So whenever you have a duplicate card, you click on it, which I don't have another one. You click this button here, you choose the unit. It'll allow you to unlock that path, and then from there you can get to these stars. These stars are what hold the abilities, and that's the cost for them. The bronze ones, you need 50. The silver, you need 25. You need 3, and you get to choose between those two. If you choose one and you don't like it, at the cost of 10 Dragon Stones, you can click the star again and refund that star, and you could choose the other one and the orbs and stuff like that. And they all kind of vary, right? So this one has dodge and critical. This one has doubles and dodges. So basically, doubles, dodges, and crits are the only ones that are locked behind stars. And every unit of every type gets a free one of those 3 right here in this top left slot, excuse me, right in this spot. So intelligence units, all of them get +5 free dodge, right? And if you wanted to apply dodge to somebody else, you'd have to give them a star. Now, this is what the nodes look like when you've unlocked a dupe path, right? Because I applied a duplicate here because the bottom right path is the best one for the statistical increases. If I do this, that'll give my Vegeta 100 more HP. If I do this, that'll give him 50 more attack, and so on and so forth. This one gives him 100 attack there. Only 100, that's kind of low. Some units get like 500 there. But anyways, depends on their tiers. Now, these other stars down here, they have other options available to you. This all is locked behind the path, right, for a duplicate, but you can get a unit to about 55%, you know, without a duplicate, so it's pretty good, but they're only going to cap at like 2,000 stats, like plus 2,000 on each stat, which isn't bad, but you still don't have, like on an intelligence unit, you won't have like critical hits or doubles or anything like that. You'll only have the dodge. Now, other types have other abilities, so like, for example, STR units, they have a free critical hit. That's the one over here. Now, if you wanted to give them dodge, you'd have to go after one of the paths over there, and then you have the same ability with other critical increases and other double attack increases and things like that. These guys have doubles. Tech has crits, and physical has doubles. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. I think physical has doubles. Yeah, physical has a free double, and everything else, you have to give them everything else. So anyways, that's how that all works. Let's go back over to my intelligence. As you see, I've kind of buffed a lot of guys. You see their stat increases up there at the top. I've buffed a lot of guys because, like I said, I prefer to just play with a lot of guys in different ways. And let's look at a unit like Gohan, right? He's one of the original God leads. guys like him that I said get the high tier buffs. So you have that first node on him is a plus 70, but I can't unlock it because it requires super attack level 2. I don't have that on his Gohan. I could, but I don't. So I could go for the dodge here and things like that. And this is how a unit looks without any orb paths. So you can go this way over here. You get stopped there after you get this increase. You can't go any further down to that. You can get all this stuff at the bottom. You can get all this stuff that it allows you to get, and that equates to about 55%. That's generally how that works. So there's not really much else to it. All this is it increases their base statistics while you use the unit. You can click that and see how much you've increased each individual unit's statistic for that. And it all obviously translates to the tournament. It translates to every game mode in the game pretty much. But that's pretty much it. That's the dupe system, the potential system, the ability system, whatever you want to call it. As you guys see here, I'm running a stunning team. You guys will see a video later today, I assume, or maybe tomorrow, with me showcasing the stun team. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Have an awesome day. Thank you for tuning in to today's video as always. Peace out, guys.